Welcome to the Calculus, a collection of micro lectures, video lessons, and sample exercises. Let's compute the antiderivative of this given trigonometric function. Now, it may look like very complicated, but of course, let's try to talk about the step-by-step process of identifying the antiderivative or the integral of the given item. We have here the integral of your numerator, which is a 3, cotangent x minus 2, sine squared x all over sine x dx. This is now in a form of a ratio. But of course, let's remind ourselves, we don't have the rule yet for cotangent, nor the square of sine. And even if this is sine x here, we don't have that rule as well in the meantime. So what we can do here is basically manipulate this first and see what we will have later on as part of our process. I'm talking about distributing or sharing the same denominator. We know that if we have 1 plus 3 over 2, this could be written as 1/2 plus 3/2, right? So we can write that as actually negative 3 cotangent x over your sine x, sharing the denominator, and of course we have here dx. As we share that or we break them or later, we can actually have this first, okay? Then you have here minus 2 sine squared of x over sine x dx. So we just simply share the denominator. The next thing to do here is to check the terms that can be separated using the difference rule. So we will have to write it in this manner, equal to the integral of your 3 cotangent x over sine x dx, and you have your minus the integral of 2 sine squared of x over sine x dx. Now, looking at the two terms, we still don't have the rules for such combinations, okay? What we know is that we can actually look into the things that we can simplify, specifically for the second term, since the denominator is sine x, and sine squared means we have 2 sine x multiplied by each other. So once you can cancel that, you are left with this form here, minus integral of 2 sine x dx. And we do have a rule for sine x. That's for the second term. When we're looking at the second or the first term rather, we can see that cotangent, we know that cotangent x is equal to the ratio in our previous trigonometric lessons. We have the ratio of cosine x over sine x. But since the denominator here is sine x, there's no way for us to multiply that and cancel sine x. What we can see here is that when you look into the terms, when you try to separate the cotangent x from 1 over sine x dx, we can now provide an equivalent form for sine x in such a way that together with cotangent x, we have a rule for it to be integrated. I'm talking about this step here. You have the integral of 3 cotangent x, or if you would like to, allow me to rewrite it in this manner, writing 1 over sine x first before cotangent x, because 1 over sine x is cosecant x. Cotangent x will stay as it is, dx. Let me just rewrite the remaining second term here. When you look into this, we have a rule for that, okay? So looking at our previous given, even if it looks too complicated, when we separate them into two terms sharing the same denominator and using the difference rule, we can find processes or steps for us to be able to look into the components of these integrals to be simplified. Now, from this, we can actually now move out our constants. 3 integral of cosecant x cotangent x dx minus 2 times the integral of sine x dx. Now, as a short review, we know that the integral of cosecant x cotangent x is equal to negative cosecant x plus c. And as for the integral of sine x dx, we have its equivalent as negative cosine x plus c. Try to review the previous forms or videos that we have here together with some of your notes, because this is actually what the basic, these two are part of those basic forms of rules in trigonometric rules for antidifferentiation. So continuing that, you will have here 3, and then this is equivalent to, as mentioned, you have here minus cosecant x plus c. So you have here times negative cosecant x. Let's leave plus c later on because we will have plus c here. We also have under plus c in the second term, but both of them are actually under the same expression. So we can combine the c's, so whatever would be their expressions, into just one. Then the second term, you have minus 2, and sine x is actually this value, so negative cosine x. And this time, let us have here plus c, which would comprise the c that we have for both of the integrals. So this is actually negative 3 cosecant x. Negative times negative is plus 2 cosine x plus c. This is the result. This is the antiderivative of the given function earlier, which needed a lot of these processes together with some concepts in our trigonometry or basic trigonometry. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe now!